Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk about network security. So the question for the day really is your network protected? Very people think this is not a big deal, that this is not very important, but it is the most important thing that you could do. There is very valuable information on the internet about you, about your peers, about your families. It is very, very important to keep your information secure and protected. My name is Michelle Calderon, and I'm going to be presenting about this today. We're going to cover, in my outline, what is a virus. I'm going to talk about a definition. I'm going to give a couple examples. I'm going to talk about it a little more. Second one is what is a worm. The third one is what is a Trojan horse. And last thing, I'm going to talk about how to protect your network. So like I said, people don't really think this is important. They don't really think, since they're not famous, that their information is not important enough to get hacked into or to copy from, but really we are all targets, and we all need to make sure that our network is always secure. We need to make sure that our social security numbers are not just flying out there, our phone numbers, our email addresses. There's a lot of different stuff that can happen in the internet, and a lot of hackers and people that are really looking to just do damage and ruin a person's life with this. The first one, what is a virus? So a virus is a computer program that's really within another computer program that just looks to spread and cause malicious actions in the network. It always needs a host file, and it's always man-made. So viruses cannot just self-make themselves. Always somebody has to make them, and they just send them in the internet, and after that they have no control over them. So a virus is always created by somebody else. But once it's on the internet, once it's sent out, nobody has really control of what a virus is going or what it is doing. How does this spread? We all really know that these come attached to executable files. So for example, they come with emails, they come with Word documents, they come with all these kinds of stuff in the internet that also do with downloads, when you're trying to download a song, when you're trying to download a program, trying to download images, trying to download even other softwares. So this is really, really easy to get a virus from the internet, and the document-based ones are the most common ones. So we have all seen this picture right here popped up on our computers at one time. This is really when you start to click and when your computer gets stuck, and then you just started moving the mouse really fast when everything is frozen, and you keep seeing these pop-ups and you keep trying to click OK, OK, OK again, but these just keep really popping out, and what do you do at that point? Well, I'm going to tell you, you might have a virus, so you might want to check it out. You might want to call somebody, a T-guy, something, get a software, trying to get that figured out, because you might have a virus, and that might be very, very dangerous, because as you guys know, they can destroy the data, they can eliminate some data, and they can really make a lot of damage to your network and your information. What is a worm? Usually a worm gets confused with a virus. People don't really know the difference between these. They are very similar. They replicate themselves as well, but unlike the viruses, they exist as a separate entity. So they don't really need somebody else to be clicking on them. And they do not attach themselves to other files like viruses do. So how does this one spread? Worms are really different. They use the computer network to send malicious software through it, and it's actually very, very dangerous once it's in the server. It could really, really, really do some damage to a computer and somebody's information. What is a Trojan horse? So we've all heard the story about the Greeks and about the Trojans, where the Greeks really wanted to surrender, and they sent the Trojans a gift, a huge horse, which really was an act of kindness, but it ended up being totally the opposite thing. You guys know, the Greek army was in the horse, and they were really trying to get into Troy to really conquer and take over the city of Troy, but the Trojans didn't know this. They just thought this was a really nice act from the Greeks that were trying to surrender, but it was completely opposite. So this is where they get the name from. They're a non-replicating malicious program, and it compares to virus a lot. People don't really know the difference between a Trojan horse and a virus as well. but this does not copy itself. So a little bit more on Trojan horses. Like I said, they appear harmless, like back then, the Greeks. They're very, very dangerous, and they present themselves as legitimate softwares. So you don't really know if a Trojan horse is something malicious that's trying to get into your system and ruin your information or anything. You just think it's a nice software and you just want to download it or you want to run it, but this is very harmful once it's installed. That's why it's very important to have softwares and things that can identify these types of malwares. So next I'm going to go show you guys a video. This link was not really working. So I'm going to show you guys this video. It's really to raise a little bit more of awareness so you guys can understand and visually see the difference between a worm, a Trojan horse, and a virus. Hopefully this video really helps you guys understand the difference between these and others. So let's see.
Viruses, worms, Trojans, and bots are all part of a class of software called malware. The overwhelming majority of malware is created to make money illegally, often by stealing sensitive and confidential information from victims' computers and mobile devices. Malware can also be used for cyber vandalism, cyber espionage, hacktivism, cyber warfare, and various other reasons. Malware can make entry onto your computer via questionable file downloads, visiting infected websites, or through email containing a seemingly benign link or attachment. Common types of malware. Viruses. Almost all viruses are attached to an executable file, which means the virus may exist on a system but will not spread until the user opens the infected program. Viruses often originate on the internet and spread when downloading a file infected with a virus, peer-to-peer file sharing, or email attachment. Trojan. A Trojan is a harmful piece of software that looks legitimate. Users are typically tricked into leading and executing it on their systems. Trojans can not only steal your sensitive data, they can also give cyber crooks access to your system. Trojans are employed to gain access to your computer's financial and personal information. Ransomware. Ransomware holds your PC hostage and demands money. It locks up your computer, threatening to destroy data, demanding ransom or a payment for release of your data, files, or to regain the ability to use your computer again. Spyware. Spyware secretly gathers private information about the user activity, such as internet usage, and logs keystrokes via the process of keylogging to steal passwords and other sensitive data. Worms. Worms can replicate themselves and infect multiple computers on a network, causing major damage. Network worms often use computer networks to spread, slowing down traffic and relying on security failures such as outdated operating systems and no antivirus programs installed. In contrast, viruses require the spreading of an infected host file. Worms are a standalone software and do not require a host or human help to spread. The best way to protect your system from malware is to keep your operating system clean by downloading regular patches, updates, and making sure that your computer is protected by the latest antivirus software from a trusted vendor.
Okay, so hopefully this video really explained well the difference between the three of these, and you guys can really understand how important it is to know when some of this happens to you and why you should keep your network protected. So there was an example of a virus a long time ago. Its name was Melissa. There was a lot of viruses that affected people. One was called I Love You, another one was called Code Red, but the one I want to focus in is Melissa. So Melissa was a virus that spread through email. This was sending infected documents to people. It seemed harmless, but it really wasn't. It was created by a guy named David Smith in 1999, and it was a Microsoft Word macro document. So a macro is really a series of commands that just go automatically and keep going on. So the people that got this email and opened the documents, they didn't know that it was a virus. And this virus, what happened to it was, if those people had a Microsoft Outlook account, the virus went to the top 50 contacts on the list and sent the virus as if it was your account. So that was really, to all the people, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, I just got this email from whoever. So they didn't think it was a virus either. So they opened it, and the same thing happened over and over again with everybody. So the email kept spreading, the virus kept spreading, and this came to affect thousands of people. I mean, tens of thousands of people. Microsoft is very frustrated. They had to shut down the email, the input, the output email. They lost $1.2 billion with this virus. And David only got fined $5,000 and only got 20 months of jail. Obviously, he cannot access the network anymore. He has to get a court order for that. But I believe that wasn't enough for all the damage that he caused. So how to protect your network? This is mainly the point of the whole thing. So first of all, virus scanning. Please, please, please get regular updates. Virus scanning is very, very important. If you have virus scanning, this will give you heads up. This will give you reports every day. This will keep you updated, keep your network updated, and